We'll go for launch. So, welcome. I'm glad everybody's here. This will be the first of over 20 how-to videos on how to start your yard card business. And what I wanted to do is share with all of you really the first topic that I wanted to make sure that I knew I was. Are you going to say hi to all my followers now?
No, please don't right now. Please don't do that.
Someone's feeling a little crabby. Maybe it was because I told her I didn't like the way she moved the rocks that were stationed around my tree. All right. So this was the first line item that I used in my 21 different topics that I wrote down to start a yard card business. And really the first topic is, why? How did we come to the decision to want to start a yard card sign celebration business? Like, how did we get there? And I think there's a lot of answers to that question. And the first answer really is, for us, this business, I didn't find this business. All right, this business kind of found me. And if you know anything about me, you know I like that kind of stuff. All right, so in short, I had a friend of mine who reached out to me probably like in November of last year and basically said, hey, listen, there's someone selling a Sign Gypsies franchise in your hometown. Buddy, if anybody's going to do this, it's going to be you. And I was like, okay. And Jennifer and I, we had been talking about doing something. She wanted to start a organizational design business. And, if you don't know all that much about, technology and starting web pages and things like that, it's a daunting task. And she doesn't. It's not really one of her strengths. So no fault to her own, we're like, we need to find something else that we can do. So why not look at it? And that's what we did. We went and we looked at this franchise. We met with the woman. We saw everything that she had. And we're like, this is pretty simple. Like, I take a sign, I put it on a stake, you pay me to put happy birthday in your yard, and I get paid. Like, we like that. As a matter of fact, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, is that it? Like, could it be that simple? And the reality is, it is that simple. And I think that's what makes this business so incredible, is that it is simple. And I had preconceived notions of what would happen when we first started and if we were going to start and what that all looked like. But the reality is that I didn't know until we got into it what was going to transpire. And what transpired was, this was a inexpensive way. We spent $1,800 with Victory Store. We opted not to go with a franchise. And one of the reasons, well, there's multiple reasons why we opted not to. One, we had to buy all of our product through our franchisee, right? And we had no say in how much they were going to charge us. And then at the end of it all, if I paid, $15 for a theme, a cupcake, right? And I wanted to sell my business and I could get no buyers, they were going to buy back all my product at like 75% less than what I paid for. That doesn't sound like a partnership to me. So pay retail, sell it back for 75% below retail. Didn't like that. And then I didn't like the fact that they were going to license me an area based on zip codes. I understand why they do it. It makes perfect sense. But I had to pay $500 to do that. So with that and the merchandise, we said no. We said we would start our own thing, and that's what we did. We bought the starter package, the 24-inch starter package. We paid $1,800. And at the end of the day, starting a business for $1,800, not including like domain fees and building your website and things like that, but like, that's not a bad deal. And you don't even need to spend that much money. There's some people who are in my private Facebook group who are making their letters right now. They're spending less, right? They're buying frog tape and plastic corrugated and cutting out and tracing letters. I love it. So you don't even need to spend that much. So simple business, not a large out of pocket expense. You could build it and make it all on your own. And you got a business. Now, it just so happened we started in January, and January and February, I was busy with, other work. Um, and, it wasn't until, like this COVID thing that happened where our business has exploded. And it's really kind of exciting. Um, so that's how I got into the yard card sign celebration business, by complete accident. Somebody suggested and thought that because they know me so well that this would be a business that I might like. That he could see me installing signs. So I'm glad that he did. It's changed my life. So this business found me. I didn't find it. But what I loved the most about it out of the gate was that it was simple, but it was also cheap. And listen, it's about hard work, right? So I wanted to spend a couple minutes, because this is going to be the first topic of our series of how to do videos, just kind of discussing some quotes. Now, you're probably being like, oh man, is this guy really going to get into some quotes? But I think they're going to emphasize my point on the reality of the fact that this is a simple business, right? It's not complicated. I can't screw that up, because I screw up a lot of things by making them a lot more complicated. And it's a matter of taking an order, all right? Sometimes, whether it be automated or over the phone, asking questions, organizing your signs, taking an order, getting paid, installing the sign, picking up the sign, and that's it. Okay? So I don't know if anybody else is familiar with Warren Buffett, but big fan of Warren Buffett. I think he's a genius. You know what I mean? He's a financial master as far as I'm concerned. And he has a quote that I love, and I found it one day. And I have a on my phone, I have a Google Docs Word doc, where when I listen and hear really good quotes, I open up my phone and I put them down because I like them. And this one is simple. And he says, only invest in simple businesses you understand. That doesn't sound that bad. How hard can that be? For this guy, who has a tendency to make things a lot more complicated than they need to, this business couldn't be more simple for me. All right? It's hard work, it's organization, and it's being nice to people. I got those covered. And if you got those covered too, you're going to be great. Okay? The other one that I really like is, most of you know, behind me, I'm a huge Giants fan. Huge New York Giants fan. I'm a huge Bill Parcells fan. And if you know anything about Bill Parcells, you know that he had Bill Belichick as his defensive coordinator when he was the head coach for the New York Giants. And Bill Belichick, in my opinion, is the greatest coach that's ever coached the game. And he has some really great quotes as well. And this one is, don't be afraid to act on a good idea. Here's a good example. Jennifer and I were sitting down after dinner. The kids had cleaned up. They thought they had done a great job. But Jennifer and I were cleaning up after them because they didn't do a good job. And in the course of talking, it was before Mother's Day, I said to her, I said, hey, what if you got a gift basket and you made simple gift baskets for moms for Mother's Day, and we incorporated a simple sign? We could sell it as a bundle. What do you think? I love it. I think it's a great idea. So we did it. And I was a little late to the party as far as getting it out there, because guys on the internet, especially Facebook, aren't thinking about Mother's Day until the day of or the night before. So there was 3 people that bought. So we broke even because the cost to make these gift baskets was really cheap. But that's a good idea. You know what I mean? And so following through on good ideas is never a bad thing. Okay. Now there's 2 other quotes that I want to talk about here that I think are also really very relevant. And one of them is another from a football coach. I know you guys are going to be like, what is this guy talking about? But whatever. And this football coach is Bruce Arians. He is now the head coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But when he said this quote, he was the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. And he coached under Bear Bryant in Alabama. And if you know anything about Bear Bryant,
Look how cute the little apples are for the t-shirt.
oh, well, let's show everybody. Come on.
No, I'm not gonna show. You can show it, right? They're so cute, though, aren't they? Look how cute little apples are.
Hey, the general
They're
made some
wet.
apples. Okay. All right.
Aren't they cute?
Hey, way to go.
They're cute, right?
They're awesome. That's another thing. You know, the general's not afraid to be creative. She gets out there and she makes stuff for people and they appreciate it. Simple idea, right? Make signs for people. They said they wanted apples. We made them apples. I actually did this video like 6 hours ago and I recorded the whole thing. I got her on video, but the audio didn't go through. So I had no audio. This wouldn't be a good idea to have a whole video with no audio. So I had to do it all over again. And I'm a little sunburnt because we went to a local quarry. If anybody's been to a quarry, we went swimming yesterday and it was so relaxing. I came home and I took a 4-hour nap. It's not true. I think it was more like a 45-minute nap, but it felt like 4 hours. All right. So we're talking about Bruce Arians. He was an understudy to Bear Bryant. And for those who know Bear Bryant, who was the head coach for the Alabama, he was a no-nonsense guy. No-nonsense guy. And he has another great quote, which is coach him hard, love him later. I like that. I'm not afraid of hard work. But Bruce Arians said tough times don't last, but tough people do. All right? And what I mean by tough, what I mean is not throwing yourself off a cliff and trying to, climb your way up. I'm saying that when times are hard and you're installing a sign in the rain and you don't want to be there, right? Like you could quit. It's easy to do. It's wet. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go home. It says in my contract that I don't have to stall in the rain. I'm out. What I'm going to say to you is tough people would probably hang through that, right? Because your customer is going to probably watch every stake you put in the ground and they know that they're doing that. You're doing that for their son or their daughter. And guys, I don't have to tell moms. That's important. Anytime anyone shows love and kindness to a mom's kid, it's going to have an impact, I think. All right. So that's one of them. And then the other one that I really, really, really like is from, in my opinion, the greatest comedian of all time, Dave Chappelle. I'm not going to get into whether or not he's got controversial topics. He does. I think they're real funny. But his mom was actually at an award show that I think it was the Mark Twain Awards. He got award. He won an award for what he does, And I'm not asking you to agree or disagree with it. I'm simply saying that, he's a guy who bends the rules, and I respect that. And one of the things that he was talking about while he was giving his acceptance speech, which I think is amazing, is that he was talking about how much he loved his mom. Now, his mom was a teacher in Chicago, I think in Chicago, DC. I can't remember, either one. And she would take him to nightclubs. And she would sit in the corner. And he would get up at a young age. And he would do his thing. And she would watch. And she would say, I might not tell that joke again. Right? But she had an amazing quote that he brought up during the Mark Twain acceptance speech, which is, sometimes you have to be a lion to show the people the lamb you really are. Wow. And I know you guys have heard me say this, and I really believe it to be true. Like, it's taken me a long time not to be a doormat. What happened? Oh my God. What'd you do? This would be a time when I'd probably want to pause the video. Whoa. You'll have to excuse me on that one. It sounded like that was bad. But she's fine. She's got a little ice. We'll be good. I'm sorry for the profanity. Okay, so I shared with you the Dave Chappelle quote from his mom. I like that. And listen, no one should be a doormat. Stand up for yourself. Here's a perfect example. Hi, my name's Josie. I want to get a happy birthday sign. I'm calling to get some quotes. Um, yeah, okay, yeah, we can do that. Oh, well, all three of the people that I just called, who are your competitors in your local area, they've all said that they would give me a $25 discount because um, for first time purchasers, whatever. Yeah, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. And if I could afford a $25 discount, ma'am, I'd absolutely give it to you. But you know what? I can't. Why? Why can't you do that? Don't you want my business? Yeah, but I'm not Amazon. Okay? I don't have 7,000 people running around in trucks dropping off stuff at your house. All right? So I'm a small business. I take care of my family with the money that I make. And if I take $25 off for this deal, I don't make any money on this. You know what I mean? Does that sound like a good deal to you? I got to feed my kids. Oh, gosh. I didn't think about it that way. You know what I mean? Like, don't be a doormat. Stand up for yourself. This is your business. And I know moms can identify with this for sure. Is you're starting a business, okay? And I think the greatest analogy to think about your business is like one of your children. You got to nurture it. You got to grow it. You got to be a model for it. You have to use the money to pay for the things that you need for your house. You know what I mean? Respect it. My old Cuban boss, the first boss I had in Miami, he's like, your business has got to be like a fine woman. You have to take care of her and respect her. And I was like, I like that. It was a good analogy for me. So don't be a doormat. And that's what I like most about that quote. So this concept of keeping things simple, I think it's important to understand because that's what we're doing. And what we're doing in the yard card sign celebration business, if you haven't figured it out by now, is bringing joy. Okay, we are bringing happiness and joy to people who want to celebrate someone that they love and care about. And you're going to bring that to them. And they're going to pay you to do it. I spent 24 years making cold calls on the phone, calling people because I thought that's what I wanted to do until January of this year when I had to do this job because I had nothing else to do. And I realized I love this. If you haven't figured that out, right? I love it. And, you always see these Steve Jobs videos about like, hey, do what you love. What is that? Programming? You know, some people don't know. And I'm not saying that you need to know. I'm just saying that this is a simple business for simple people who are bringing joy. Okay. There's a lot of other things in the middle we're going to talk about, but we're not going to talk about here. We're talking about the decision that I made to start this business and the decisions that I figured out and the information that I figured out while doing this business. You have all seen, and if you haven't already, I invite you to do it, the video I did on YouTube called Be Open to It. And you're going to be talking to people on the phone, which I strongly recommend. And I've said this 1,000 times. They're probably like, here goes running again on another tangent, right? Talk to people, man. Ask questions. How was your day? You're a mom, I think 82 to 83% of the people who are following me on YouTube are women. So when I say to you, be a mom, ask your customer, what does Abigail like? Does she like unicorns? She does. Do you have any purple? I do. Do you want rainbows? You have rainbows too? I do. What other colors do you like? She likes teal and purple. Well, that's great. I have those. Or that you have a can of spray paint in your house, you can spray paint some signs, right? You're going to need them for your inventory anyway. Listen to people, okay? It's simple. Well, at least for me it is. Maybe it's not simple for some people, okay? So you are providing a service, and the service that you're providing is joy. I must say that again. You're providing a service, and you're providing a service to people, and that service is bringing joy. The other dynamic that's important to mention too here is that when you own your own business, right, you have options. You think Warren Buffett has options? The guy's worth like $22 billion. It's a different scenario, but I have options. You have options. You can go work for a company, get a W-2 paycheck, know how much money you're going to get every month. Go ahead and do that. Or you could supplement your income by doing this business, or you could jump in with both feet. My point is that the business also offers you an opportunity of variable income. The harder I work, the more money I can make. The more money I can make, I can invest in more signs. The more signs I have, the more money I will bring in, right? Hard work, inventory, close deals, okay? It's not that hard. And if it is, we're going to help you get through it, okay? So the other note that I have here too is that money is the gas that drives the options bus. And it is. I mean, if I told you, I'm not going to make more than 5 minutes long, 30 minutes long. But if I told you that I didn't have a YouTube channel in the beginning of April, and I didn't have a private Facebook group in the middle of May, you'd think that I'd be lying to you. But the reality is the feedback that I got from you. The feedback that I got from you is that I should do it. I want more. I love these videos. Can you give me more? What other things can you do? Or do you know there's a lot of other people making money with private Facebook groups, giving away this content is crazy. Charge people for it. It's the feedback I'm getting. So I did. I'm not charging anybody yet, right? But options, guys. And I'm going to give you more options during this course than you ever thought possible. We're going to open up your mind, all right, to simple ideas that may seem complicated to people who haven't just thought that way. And all we're doing is thinking different, okay? So you can see why having a variable income position or job or business could be beneficial for you, okay? I have some notes saying, hey, how did you come up with sign fairies? Don't be afraid to act on a good idea. That's what Bill Belichick said. Jennifer and I, true story, sitting across the table in the kitchen. We're thinking about what we're going to name our business before I've even started the website or anything else. She's like, there's sign gypsies. There's card my yard. There's a couple other things. And I said, well, what about like sign fairies? She's like, ooh. And then I followed up with, oh, you like that? She's like, I do. And then I said, what if we also added, because you got to have a tagline, displaying your celebrations majestically. Right? Does that make you laugh? It made us laugh. We're like, this is a great idea. Bang. That's how it happened. Most great ideas are simple, and don't be afraid to act on a good idea. Right? I'm giving you examples of how that happened to me right out of the gate. All right? Sometimes I saw it right in front of me, but through hard work, I figured it out later on. Because the other dynamic here too is that you don't have to know all of it before you start. And what I'm saying to you is, I tell my kids this all the time, and I'm sure all you guys do the same thing too. And it's a simple concept, right? My kids will tell me, okay, Dad, I'll take out the garbage. I'll do it later. Sure enough, I go outside, the garbage isn't taken out. So finally I said to them, stop telling me what you're going to do. Stop telling me that you're going to go take the garbage out or you'll do it later. Because you know what? It doesn't mean anything. You don't do it. Just do it and then come back and tell me. So show me that you're going to do it. Not that you're going to do it, but just show me that you are going to do it. Because actions, in my opinion, speak far louder than words. They do. If I show you what it's like to be kind and generous and loving and caring and not a doormat, you know what I mean? It helps people. At least for me, that's how I learn. I'm a visual learner. So, you know, that's kind of how it all transpired. That's how I came to the decision to start a yard card sign celebration business. I really wish it was more complicated. I really wish I had an elaborate story that I could take you through, 50 Shades of Gray. Not really, but it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be hard to figure out to do it. Simple. Make the signs, or buy them. Deliver the signs, put them in the ground. We're not constructing a bridge, Take the H-stake and put it in the ground. 3 inches, 2 inches. You'll figure it out. And then take your money. Work hard. Don't tell me you're going to work hard. Show me you're going to work hard. That's what I want to see. And that's what I'm going to ask of you guys to do who are doing this course. If you even want to call it that, right? I'm going to ask you to work hard. I'm going to ask you to be honest. And I'm going to ask you tough questions that may make you feel uncomfortable. And you know what? That's okay. Okay? If I sense that it's making you feel uncomfortable, I won't prod and I won't gouge. But these are questions that we're going to have to ask you, and we're going to ask each other, that it's important to think about. All right? Listen, my entire work history is based on making cold calls and selling stuff to people. I can sling shit like better than anybody. I can tell you why you should buy this car for all the right reasons. Okay? But at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm connected to people when I do that. I really don't. I feel connected to people when I put a sign in their yard. How silly is that? Right? Knowing that when Abigail gets up in the morning and she sees my sign, I take great satisfaction in that. And I take great satisfaction that it's not complicated. I'm just bringing smiles to people. So that's how I came to the decision. And this business found me before I found it. And there's something to be said for that. So I'm going to wrap this up. 30 minutes, okay? We're going to move on to topic number 2. The topic number 2 will be, so you're thinking about starting a yard sign celebration business. How are you going to do that? Are there other businesses in your neighborhood that you know of? What are they doing? We'll talk a little bit more about the pros and cons of franchises and all the things associated with that. Okay? Hey guys, if you want to learn more about how all this works, please consider signing up for my Patreon account. We have 3 different tiers: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Tier 1 is a very basic overview of this outline and these how-to videos that you can watch late at night while you're in your bed about whether or not this is simple enough for you or it isn't. It's $19.99 a month, okay? The 2 other tiers are really offering the same thing with 2 different dynamics. Direct contact with me. Tier 2 is going to be a 30-minute conversation for $49.99 a month, and you'll be able to ask me you'll be able to send me 8 emails a month asking me no more than 3 questions about how your business is going, okay? Tier 4, $99.99 a month. You get an hour conversation or 2 30-minute calls, and you can ask me up to 12 questions a month that include 3 separate questions. 12 emails a month that include 3 separate questions, okay? I'm going to try to make this as super simple as possible, all right? So if you like what you hear, stick around. If you don't, stick around. All right, guys. Smash the day.